Hey everybody, this is John for TechEh.ca. Today I've got the One X, the latest device from HTC, and we'll have a look at the hardware of it and design, and then we'll also have a look at the software of it. So as you can see, it's a fairly thin device. On the back is very smooth and very minimalistic. You've got your docking connectors at the bottom. You've also got a perforated grill for your speaker output, and then you've got the Beats Audio labeling. At the top, you've got your 8 megapixel camera with flash. Also at the top, you've got a 3.5 millimeter headset jack, your micro SD card slot, and you've got a secondary mic and a power button. Now, we'll have a look at the front-facing camera and the perforated grill for the earpiece. And right behind the grill, there's also an LED notification light. We've got capacitive buttons at the bottom, mic at the bottom. On the other side, we've got a micro USB jack. And you can also see how thin the device is. And I'll compare that to the Galaxy Nexus because that's what I've got on hand, just to give you an example of how they stack up. They're fairly similar devices in size, and then you can see the volume rockers on both of them. Even though the One X looks like it has a curved screen, it actually doesn't. It's the body itself is curved, but the screen is inlaid in it. Now let's have a look at the software. So you can see the unlock screen with the weather selection, and with your 4 quick launch items at the bottom. So what we'll do is we'll unlock this, and we'll have a look at what's going on over here. So here's the stock home screen. You can see it's fairly familiar. Now this is running HTC's Sense 4 over Ice Cream Sandwich. So this is your app drawer, and it's a side-scrolling drawer style, and you can choose between all your apps to display, your frequently used, or just your downloaded apps. Now you'll also notice right at the top you've got a menu to sort your apps. You've also got a quick launch for your Play Store. Now this launches the Play Store directly from your app drawer, which is kind of neat. And if you've ever got a lot of apps, you can search for an app quickly. So that's the app drawer. One thing to note is that there's a lot of preloaded apps on this phone. A lot of them from Rogers and a lot of them from HTC. I find that HTC did a good job at adding a lot of apps that make it generally useful right out of the box. Notes, flashlight, task manager, if you're into stocks. So for overall, just someone coming from another platform new to Android, it's a very useful phone, so you don't have to download everything. So now we'll go to settings, and then if you're used to Ice Cream Sandwich, you'll notice that this is very similar to stock Android. But everything has been tweaked a little bit. You've got all the different icons, but all the information is there, and HTC has added a few of their own little tweaks. And you can see that little bouncing effect that they have at the bottom or at the top when you reach an end of page. Everything's very similar. You've got your toggle switches at the top here. If you press on them, you can go into the menu and view more settings. Now if you wanted to conserve battery and turn your LTE off, you can do that in the preferred network mode section. This way you can choose not to use LTE when you have no LTE area. Now we'll go back, check the more section out. You've got your standard ice cream sandwich usage menu. Now the data usage was very good feature introduced in Android 4.0. It lets you view all your data usage and what's using your data very specifically, so it's easy to keep track on of your usage and when you're gonna go over or not go over your monthly allowance. This phone is equipped with NFC. You can see this is where you turn it on or off. You can also disable the Android Beam feature. So the personalize section lets you customize the look and feel of your phone, and you can change different types of settings. So first we'll have a look at the scene, and these are different types of scenes that you can choose. These are preloaded. You can always get more at the HTC Sense store. These skins let you choose different types of skins, and again, these are some of the few skins that are preloaded on the phone, and as always you can get more from the HTC Sense store. The wallpaper, this lets you change the wallpaper. You can add a live wallpaper or a standard wallpaper, and there's a few wallpapers preloaded on the phone, and as always you can choose your own picture if you want to do so. The lock screen lets you customize the information on the lock screen, so you can choose to have your messages displayed, a time, or stocks if you're into that. The home screen lets you customize your home screen. This is one of the staples of Android, being able to add different types of widgets and shortcuts and apps to each of your home screens that you can see at the top here. And one good thing about Ice Cream Sandwich widget drawer is it lets you visually see how the widgets are going to look like before you place them on the screen, which is also a pretty neat feature. So you can add different types of apps and shortcuts. So we'll go back now and we'll have a look at the settings again. So now we'll go to the accounts and sync. Nothing really new is over here, so we'll leave that there. And next we'll look at the location setting. GPS lets you turn it on or off. The security setting, if you wanted to add a face unlock, you can do so in this section. Back and we'll have a look at privacy. Again, nothing really new here. Same with accessibility, standard Android. Next we'll have a look at display and gestures. So here you can see you can adjust the brightness, font size, notification, and different types of gestures if you wanted to use that. You can also calibrate your G sensor also. Sound lets you change your phone volumes, ringtones and all of that, notification sounds. It's also pretty cool. You can, I've added extra features like the flip for speaker. So if you wanted to go to a speakerphone while you're on the call, that's also pretty neat. The call setting has pretty standard information here. You can set up internet calling account if you have one. The app setting lets you view and manage all your apps on your phone. So you can view what you've downloaded, what's currently installed. Storage lets you view all the information you have space-wise on your phone. It's interesting though, you have an internal space of 2.21 gigs and a phone storage of 9.93 gigs. So they don't actually give you the entire 16 gigs to use. Next, in the power section, you can see the battery level, and you can also turn fast boot on and off, which makes your phone boot up a lot faster. Battery use is very useful to see what's been using your app and how long your batteries last and what's draining your battery if you've installed a new app. So it's a very useful tool to view that. Again, you can see that accordion effect that HTC Sense has added to the menus on the phone. Next, we'll go to language and keyboard. This lets you customize the different types of keyboards. Next, after that, we'll go to date and time. Nothing new here. Dock mode. Unfortunately, we didn't receive a dock, so we couldn't test that. But there are settings here to change that. Next, we'll go to connect to PC. Now, this lets you change your connection type. You can change it from a disk drive if you want, or to sync up with HTC Sense. Next is the developer options. Now, these let you change a few settings if you plan on developing with your phone. And then about phone lets you force update or force check for updates for your phone. You can also view information, tell HTC about errors that you've had. You can view software information and so forth. You can see this is Android 4.03 with a Sense version of 4. And that's about all for the menus. Now I'll go ahead and show you that keyboard that I was talking about earlier. Now this is the stock HTC Sense keyboard, and it's quite different than the stock ice cream sandwich keyboard. So I'll zoom in a little bit so you can get a better look. And what you'll notice is it's very cluttered. All the keys seem to be jumbled together near the bottom, and I find it's very difficult to type with. One thing you'll notice is the language selection key has its own dedicated key, and it's near the spacebar at the bottom. So I've been caught often hitting that key accidentally and switching the keyboard language, which also switches the autocorrect, so it's a pain to type with sometimes. And then you also got the navigation buttons near the bottom. So what I'll do is I'll show you what the stock ice cream sandwich keyboard looks like, so you can see what the difference is. And you can see how the ice cream sandwich keyboard spacebar is a lot larger, especially considering that that's one of the probably one of the most pressed keys on a keyboard. So it's very large and very clustered. The autocorrect is good when the keys are selected, and it does have a built-in swipe feature, so that's also pretty neat. But other than that, it is difficult to type with. You can see some of the swipe features here, and like I said, it does have the navigation keys near the bottom. So it does have a few interesting features, but overall, after using the keyboard for a while, I definitely found myself switching to a downloadable keyboard from the Play Store. Sorry. So that's the keyboard. Next, we'll have a look at the camera app. Now, obviously, this is one of the bigger features of this phone that HTC is trying to promote. The phone is fully loaded with a bunch of different settings and effects. So if you click on the little round icon at the bottom, lets you choose different types of effects that you can use. You can also view all the different types of settings. You can switch between your main camera and your front camera. You can have a self timer, change the image resolution of the picture, change the video quality. Again, this is full 1080p HD video. You can have a review duration if you wanted to, modify the white balance. You can change the different ISO settings. You can white balance. You can also have continuous shooting on or off. This lets you press and hold the shutter button to take a few different types of pictures, and you choose the best one at the end. There's also video options that you can turn on or off. The camera interface if you want to have a grid or the shutter. Auto upload if you want to upload it to a server or not. Turn your flash on, off, or automatic. Now there's different types of scenes you can choose from. You can leave it to auto, HDR, panorama, portrait, group portrait, landscape, whiteboard, close-up. There's also slow motion video if you want to take a video. Other than that, you can zoom in, zoom out, take a picture, take a video, record. Next, we'll have a look at the music on the phone. So if you click on the music icon, it brings you to the music hub, and this is where all your music apps are stored. So the phone built-in music player lets you play all the songs built into your phone, and you can see all the different types of music controls. And you'll also notice that all the SoundHound information can be grabbed from a song if you are not sure what the song is, if you're playing it from internet radio or something. So you can stop it, play it, add to a playlist, set as a ringtone, view album details. What else? If we go back, you can see it's in the notification bar at the top. You can also pause it. One of the neater features is if you plug in a set of headphones, what it does is it gives you the option to enable or disable the beats setting. So I'll show you how that works. So once you have a song or any kind of audio playing, you'll see the little Beats logo at the top in your notification bar. So what that lets you do is turn the audio, Beats audio, on or off. And as far as I've noticed, that's all there is to the Beats integration on the phone. I personally haven't noticed much of a difference in sound quality when either playing it through my headphones or car stereo between Beats mode on or off. So if you go back, you can view all your other music apps. And this is the built-in play music, and all your songs sync if you're using that. So now what I'll do is I'll show you the power down and power up sequence of the phone. So go ahead and hold the power button, and these are the different types of settings that come up: power off, airplane mode, and restart. So what I'll do now is I'll choose restart, and we'll shut the phone down. So now it's powering down, and should power back up in a few seconds. And there it goes. So now it's powering up. You can see the little status bar on the upper right side of the screen. And again, this does have HTC Fast Boot enabled, so it is supposed to boot up fairly quickly. I found that it does boot up a lot slower than other HTC phones that do have this fast boot setting. So it stays here for a bit, the HTC One logo with Beats audio, and again, still waiting. Now there it goes, and basically it just boots into your lock screen, finds the network, connects, and so on. And so now we're booted up. So we'll go ahead and unlock the screen, and we're still got a small loading even though it's booted up. And now we just wait, and there's your phone. Now I'll show you how to take a screenshot. So you just press and hold the power and volume down button, or you can press and hold the power button and the home button, and that's the HTC Sense way. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and see you next time.